Hey everyone, it's Steve with the Prewitt Group. Today wanted to take a few moments and go over with you one of the most common topics that we seem to come across when meeting with buyers or sellers, and that is the idea of what makes a great deal in a real estate transaction. A lot of times when we first meet with people, that topic comes up, and the simple answer that people will give is either the lowest possible purchase price if you're buying something, or for a seller, the highest possible selling price. But a lot of times, I believe there's more factors that go into what makes a great deal than that, and wanted to go over those with you today of things that you might want to take into consideration as you determine what makes a good deal for you in your next transaction. On the buying side, I think more than looking at just purchase price, that you need to look at a combination of the purchase price, what payment that gets you with the type of financing you're doing, and the capital that you have available. A lot of times with today's financing rates, it can make a lot more sense to spend $10,000 or $20,000 more in purchase price and end up with $50 or $100 a month higher of payment than to go into a house and put $10,000 or $20,000 worth of work into it if you can turn around and find something on the market that doesn't need that capital invested into it. Because a lot of times, depending on how long you're going to stay in a home, you end up paying out less out of pocket in the additional payment than you would pay if you put that money into a home, and certainly requires far more capital out of pocket rather than leveraging the financing and only having to put down your down payment. So a lot of times I think it's a matter for a buyer of balancing those two things and coming up with a payment that's comfortable for you, but also being realistic about what things you can do and what they will cost into a home over the course of time that you own it. Same thing is true for the seller's side of a transaction, that a lot of times getting the highest possible price out of your home might require some capital investment into either improving things or completely renovating things. And most times we want to look at that and determine whether or not you will get that full return back out of the house if you're going to go through the hassle of doing those things and the cost of doing those things. We want to make sure that you're not just getting a dollar for dollar exchange back from those, unless they're a repair that's necessary to make the house sell where it wouldn't otherwise. So I think those things are all important to consider, as well as really your long-term goals in the time that you own the house, or your long-term goals in selling a house and where you want to go next. Because a lot of times the homes that are the best deals are the most complicated transactions, or the short sale or foreclosures that can take far longer. And a lot of times if you're transitioning to a new area, or out of a rental property into purchasing your first home, or selling a home and buying another one, those factors of timing of each transaction can impact both sides heavily in moving costs, costs for transitional housing, and other factors that can make something that appears to be a great deal up front not be that in the long run. So we'd love to sit down with you anytime and help you analyze what would make a great deal for your next real estate transaction. Until then, check out all the resources on our website, or get your home value at springshomevalues.com, and we will talk to you here soon.